Hello everyone. In the last video, I briefly went over this concept of ethical AI, but based on some colleagues reaching out to me, I thought that it makes more sense to go into the Google AI principles a little bit more in depth. So, what is this site telling you? So, this is the site of the Google AI principles. These are a set of principles that all Google AI related applications or emerging technology applications, machine learning, will have to kind of abide by. They have to adhere to this set of principles. So, what Google is saying, while we are optimistic about the potential of AI, we recognize that advanced technologies can raise important challenges. Some of them, like I said, fairness, privacy, transparency, bias, hallucinations that must be addressed clearly, thoughtfully, and affirmatively. These AI principles describe our commitment to developing technology responsibly and work to establish specific application areas that we will not pursue. Even if there is a commercial gain, still Google will not go to that area of generative AI just because there could be a potential harm to society. What are some of the objectives of these principles? Be socially beneficial. The expanded reach of new technologies increasingly touches society as a whole. Advances in AI will have transformative impact in a wide range of fields or businesses, including healthcare, society, energy, transportation, manufacturing, entertainment. As we consider potential development and uses of AI technologies, we will take into account a broad range of social and economic factors and will proceed only where we believe that the overall benefits will sustainably exceed the foreseeable risks and downsides. It is the kind of commitment to society as a whole that the overall benefits of having this AI application out there in the real world, in the society, outweighs the foreseeable risks and downsides. AI also enhances our ability to understand the meaning of content at scale. We will always strive to make high quality and accurate information readily available using AI while continuing to respect cultural, societal, and legal norms in the countries where we operate, and we will continue to thoughtfully evaluate when to make our technologies available on a non-commercial basis, kind of like an open source or free license. So overall, this is the societal impact. They will not do anything where the potential risks or downsides outweigh the benefits. Avoid creating or reinforcing unfair bias. AI algorithms and datasets can reflect, reinforce, or reduce unfair biases. We recognize that distinguishing fair from unfair biases is not always simple and differ across cultures and societies. Obviously, what will be good in this kind of a society, which is like liberal society, Western society, might not be good that allowed or that just justified in, say, for example, some sort of conservative Eastern society. We will seek to avoid unjust impacts on people, particularly those related to sensitive characteristics such as race, ethnicity, gender, nationality, income, sexual orientation, ability, and political or religious belief. So it does not want to create new bias or even reinforce existing bias that might be there in the data set. So they will test for that. Be built and tested for safety. We'll continue to develop and apply strong safety and security practices to avoid unintended results that create risks of harm. We will design our AI systems to be appropriately cautious and seek to develop them in accordance with best practices in AI safety research. In appropriate cases, we will test AI technologies in constrained environments and monitor their operation after deployment. So this is something that is called AI incidents. So for example, I will show you something, AI incident database. This is an open source database that contains all of the AI related all of the incidents that have been pushed. For example, all of this, as you can see, this is a kind of incident. So what I'm trying to say is that there can be an incident. Some can be very less impactful if something the chatbot says A rather than B, whereas if a self-driving car crashes into a pedestrian, it has a huge impact. So that is what is in the concept of be built and tested for safety. Be accountable to people. We will design AI systems that provide appropriate opportunities for feedback, relevant explanations, and appeal. our AI technologies will be subject to appropriate human direction and control. This is more on the transparency part. Human beings will have a say. This is a human-centered AI. Incorporate privacy design principles. We will incorporate our privacy principles, Microsoft's privacy principles or Google's privacy principles, which is the industry leading privacy principles basically, in the development and use of our AI technologies. We will give opportunity for notice and for consent. Consent to use your data, use your workflows, use personal information in AI modeling, AI stuff. Encourage architectures with privacy safeguards and provide appropriate transparency and control over the use of your data. It's very important. As I will show that OpenAI has been and Microsoft has been sued for $3 billion for privacy impact. They are saying that their data has been consumed. Uphold high standards of scientific excellence. This is more on the scientific theory part. Technological innovation is rooted in the scientific method and a commitment to open inquiry, intellectual rigor, integrity, and collaboration. AI tools have the potential to unlock new realms of scientific research and knowledge in critical domains like biology, chemistry, medicine is very important, environmental science. We aspire to high standards of scientific excellence as we work to progress AI development. We will work with a range of stakeholders to promote thoughtful leadership in this area, drawing on scientifically rigorous and multidisciplinary approaches, and we will responsibly share AI knowledge by publishing educational materials, best practices and research that enable more people to develop useful AI applications. Enables more people to develop. So this is more like scientific research in that way. Be made available for users that accord with these principles, meaning the 6 principles that goes before this. Many technologies have multiple uses. We will work to limit potentially harmful or abusive applications. As we develop and deploy AI technologies, we will evaluate likely uses in light of the following factors. Primary purpose of that technology or that asset, AI asset and use. The primary purpose and likely use of a technology and application, including how closely the solution is related to or adaptable to a harmful use. Nature and uniqueness, whether we are making available technology that is unique or more generally available. Scale, whether the use of this technology will have a significant impact. And nature of Google's involvement, whether we are providing general purpose tools, integrating tools for customers, or are we developing custom solutions. So basically all of these principles will be put into the concept of this context of this 7th principle. Say for example, if Google is just providing a general purpose tool and some other enterprise is building a client facing application on top of that tool, can actually Google have a lot to do on that? Maybe not, right? But whereas, for example, if Google is creating a custom tool, okay, that will be used at scale, which is a, say for example, a general purpose tool that will reach a lot of scale, then obviously there is an issue, there is a probability that it can lead to much higher harm. The scale at which that AI asset can do harm and the scale at which Google will be liable in a sense for that harm will be much more. So this 7th is basically kind of a summary principle that puts all of those 6 principles into context. AI applications we will not pursue. In addition to the above objectives, we will not design or deploy AI in the following application areas. Number 1, technologies that cause or are likely to cause overall harm. Where there is a material risk of harm, we will proceed only where we believe that the benefits substantially outweigh the risks and the downfall, and will incorporate appropriate safety, privacy, testing. Weapons or other technologies whose principal purpose or implementation is to cause or directly facilitate injury to people. Technologies that gather or use information for surveillance, violating internationally accepted norms. Technologies whose purpose contravenes widely accepted principles of international law and human rights, spamming engines, right? Dark web, for example. Okay. As our experience in this space deepens, this list may evolve. So basically what the idea is, there is a set of principles that is the most guiding factor for Google applications or Googlers when they design applications which are related to AI, related to machine learning, related to emerging technologies. But again, all of this is in the context of what is the use case. If, for example, there is a possibility of some harm, but also there is a possibility of a radical improvement in our society, and that application is very custom, very narrowed down to a very small strata of society. Maybe only researchers will use it, maybe Google will allow it, even if there is harm. Whereas if there is like a general purpose application, a foundational model, Google will not allow it to be released unless and until it's completely secured and all of that. So it's on a case to case basis, but at the end of the day, this gives a high level set of principles that a Googler or you can incorporate these principles as the basis of your AI principles in your company or your enterprise. So this kind of keeps this in picture. Perfect. In the next video, we will kind of go into some of the other aspects of this overall thought process. Thank you, everybody.